everybody, it's Mr. Machado here again. I'm super excited to talk to you guys about COVID-19 or the coronavirus outbreak that's happening right now. I know it's something that can be a little scary. A lot of people can feel a lot of anxiety and be nervous about it, but it is something that's happening in the world right now and it's affecting all of us. So I feel like it's very important for us to start this series of videos by just talking about some special words, some vocabulary words that we might hear, we might see if we are reading articles online, and it's very important for us to be able to understand those words. As I talked to you guys yesterday, I'm also learning English, so we are going to be learning together. Some of these words were not very familiar to me as well. I had to do some research and study some of the terms, so let's get working. The first word we are going to talk about is the word virus. Virus is a noun. We know that a noun is a place, a person, or a thing. In this case, virus is a thing. It's a very small particle that causes diseases in humans, animals, and plants. So a virus is something alive, but it's super small. You cannot see that with your own eyes. You need a microscope. If you look at the picture, you can see a microscope and then you see a lot of different types of nasty virus that can cause diseases. Let's take a look at the little sentence on the bottom. The flu is caused by a virus. That's our first vocabulary word of the day. Let's jump on to the second one. The second vocabulary word of the day is coronavirus. Coronavirus is a proper noun. Again, it's the name of a thing, but it's a very specific group of viruses. A coronavirus is a type of virus that looks like a crown. So if you look at the picture, that's exaggerated. There's a little crown on top of a virus, but it gives you an idea of why this type of virus has the name coronavirus. As you know, the word corona in Latin and Spanish means crown. So that's going to help your brain remember a little bit that the coronaviruses are the viruses that look like they look like a crown. They look like they have a little crown. And on the bottom, you might see a picture of the COVID-19, which is the name of the virus that has been affecting a lot of people in the world right now. So wait a second, Mr. Machado. Are you saying that coronaviruses and COVID-19 are the same thing? Yes and no. Let's talk a little bit about it. If you look at the animal kingdom, if you're thinking about all the different types of animals, you have animals that fly, you have animals that swim, animals with all different sizes and colors and shapes. If we were to group those animals, we can come up with some different groups. We have amphibians, we have fish, we have mammals. So let's think about just one group. Let's think about the birds. If I look at only the birds, I still have a big variety of animals. I still have birds of all different sizes, shapes, eat different things, live in different places. So if I look at that group, the birds, I can pinpoint the one animal I was looking for. In this example here, it was the eagle. When it comes to viruses, it's very similar. If you take a look at this next picture, you can see that there's a lot of different types of viruses, and they can cause lots of different types of diseases. So you can see the viruses have all different shapes, they work in different ways. If I look into one specific group of viruses, and that's going to be our second picture, I'm talking about the coronavirus, which are all the viruses that look like they have a little crown, okay? These viruses are very common. The flu is caused by a coronavirus. This past year, in 2019, we had a new type of coronavirus affecting humans, and that's the single virus called COVID-19. So COVID-19, it's the name of the virus that's affecting a lot of people in the world right now. And it is a type of coronavirus. So that's why you might hear the word COVID-19, you might hear the word coronavirus, but I just want you to understand that COVID-19 is the name of that single virus that's causing a lot of people to get sick right now. And it's part of a bigger group of viruses called coronaviruses. The next vocabulary word is the word outbreak. The word outbreak is a noun. So again, it's the name of a thing. An outbreak is when something begins suddenly, especially a disease. So it's something that happens very fast and it was not expected. If you look at the picture, there's a lot of kids sick all at once. Let's take a look at the example. There was an outbreak of a new type of coronavirus in China. So again, an outbreak is when something happens suddenly. Nobody was really expecting that to happen, and it happens very fast. The next word is the word contagious. Contagious is an adjective. As you know, an adjective, it's a word that describes a noun. So if something is contagious, that thing is able to pass from one person to another. Let's take a look at the example, the sentence on the bottom. It says, COVID-19 is a very contagious virus. What does that mean? It means that COVID-19 can pass from one person to another very easily. So something that is contagious is something that passes very easily, just like colds or flu and other diseases that can pass from one person to another. Let's take a look at the next vocabulary word, symptoms. Symptoms or symptom, the singular, is a noun, so it's the name of a thing. A symptom is any feeling of illness that's caused by a disease. So when you're feeling sick, when you're feeling ill, you have some symptoms. Your body might react in different ways to tell you, to give you signs that you are not feeling 100%, that you are not okay, that there's something wrong. So you can have a fever, you can have cough, lots of different symptoms for lots of different diseases. So let's take a look at the sentence on the bottom there. It says, some people get sick and don't have any symptoms for a few days, which is actually true. With the COVID-19, a lot of people can get sick, but they don't have any symptoms for a little while. So they can be contagious. If they are around other people, they can be passing that virus along. That's why it's very important that we really take care of ourselves around this time. And we are going to talk a little bit about this next word, which is the word spread. We all know what the word spread means. I can ask you, can you spread this peanut butter on your bread? You know exactly what you do. When we are about to do a movement break in class, I can ask everybody, can we spread around the classroom so we can do a little movement break? What are all the kids going to do? Are they all going to run to the rug and just stay together super tight? Or are they going to go all over the classroom and occupy all the different spaces? You know what the word spread means. To spread is when you put things in different spaces. So when we are talking about coronavirus and diseases, we also use the word spread, which is a verb. It's an action, as you know. So to spread is to pass from one person to another. So if you look at the picture, the first picture, you can see the peanut butter example that I was just talking about. But if you look at the second picture, what is that boy doing? He's sneezing and he's not covering his mouth. So by doing that, he's spreading the disease to other people. Okay, the next word is the word quarantine. Quarantine is a noun. Quarantine is to keep someone or an animal, a person or a thing away from other people in order to stop disease from spreading. So if there is someone that's sick and can pass that disease along to other people, that person often goes on quarantine because we don't want other people to be getting sick. And that's what we're doing right now. If you look at the example on the bottom, it says the child with chicken pox was put in quarantine. If you go to the nurse and you have symptoms, again, the word we just learned, if you have symptoms of the flu, you have a fever, you have a headache, you're throwing up, the nurse might send you home. You might have to stay in quarantine at home until you feel better. What does that mean? You are going to be away from everybody. You are not coming back to school because we have to make sure that you take care of yourself and everybody else is safe. So that was our last vocabulary word for the day. So now we are going to do a quick reading. The article is called 5 Facts About COVID-19. I encourage you to pause the video right now and try to read the article by yourself one time. And as soon as you finish that one time, you can hit the play button and I'm going to be reading and I ask you to track along, okay? So right now, pause the video, try to read one time. There might be a few words that are a little hard for you. That's okay, just try your best. We are going to read together in a minute, okay? Time to pause the video. I'm very excited that you were able to read the article by yourself. Now we are going to read it one time together, okay? As I'm reading, please use your eyes, your finger or pencil, anything, and track along the words, okay? There's some of the new words that we learned today in this article, but you might see a lot of other words that might be a little challenging. So make sure you're tracking along, okay? COVID-19 is started in animals. COVID-19 is a type of coronavirus. The coronavirus jumped from animals to humans in late 2019. The outbreak began at a seafood market in the Chinese city of Wuhan. COVID-19 can make anyone sick. This disease can affect anyone. People of any race or ethnicity can catch it. COVID-19 is contagious. COVID-19 can spread from one person to another. To limit the spread of COVID-19, people who have it or have been near someone who has it should go into quarantine. COVID-19 symptoms are similar to the flu. The symptoms for COVID-19 are similar to the symptoms of the flu. The most common symptoms of COVID-19 are a fever, cough, and shortness of breath. There are ways to keep yourself and others healthy. Health officials say that the best way to stay healthy is to frequently wash your hands for 20 seconds. They also recommend you to avoid touching your face. If you feel sick, you should stay at home so you don't make other people sick. Great, so there's a lot of really interesting information about COVID-19. We learned a lot of vocabulary words, and now it's time for you to jump into our exit ticket. Buzz Lightyear just came back from an out-of-space mission and everything looks different. All places are closed and there's very few people on the streets. Buzz finally decides to knock on your door and asks, "What's going on?" Write a paragraph explaining to Buzz why you and your family are quarantined. Use 4 words from the word box. The words on the word box are virus, outbreak, contagious, spread, symptoms, and quarantine. Okay, there are 2 ways you can submit this assignment. You can first just write that on a piece of paper, take a picture and have your parents share it with me or with your classroom teacher, or you can go on Google Classroom and there is an assignment that you can just type your paragraph straight up on a Google Doc and it's gonna go straight to me, okay? Please, please, please go back to the video, watch it again if you need to refresh any of these new concepts. Again, it's something that's very important that's happening nowadays, and I just felt like it's interesting for us to know the meaning of some of these important words, some of these vocabulary words. I hope everybody stays safe and make sure that you are doing your best to also stay healthy. That's the best way for us to avoid getting sick. And if you know Mr. Machado, I'm always walking around with my big bottle of water. Make sure you are drinking plenty of fluids. Even though I'm staying at home with Oscar. Say hi, Oscar. He's gone. No, he's not gone. He's just sleeping. Even though I'm staying home, I'm trying to make sure that I drink my amount of water per day. So make sure that you're drinking water and eating healthy. Okay? I'll see you guys next time.